Hello, for today's teardown, this the DPS-68M1 vehicular radiation meter. It is written in Russian, but I believe it was made in Poland because it is very similar to my Polish RS70. Even the buttons, the speaker here and the light is the same. So I guess we have a Polish product here. I found this on German eBay for 25 euros, which is quite a good deal because usually they are a little bit more expensive than that. They are at least 100 euros. So we have pretty straightforward controls here, nice fluorescent dial, setting here for the power supply input. There is in this little plug you have to pull, and it allows to change the power supply, but I will keep 12 volts for my own convenience. So it works like like it is not easy, like this. You pull the, it is just a little blade of metal, and you will install it in the way you want to change the power supply input. And the case is clear over it to allow easy checking. Okay, so I will power it on for you, but you will see it is very similar to my other Polish meter. There are caps over the plugs here, so it is made to accommodate at least 2 probes. I do not have the probes, it is a black plastic cylinder with a cable. And you can actually store here these connector caps. So it looks like in normal use you will connect and disconnect things on it, and not always use all the connectors, but always need to have caps and not lose it. This one I did add myself, it is the power connector. The power connector was not fitted with one because it will be obviously at least always connected to power, even if it does not have an internal pressure tube, I believe. So I will first power it for you. For this purpose I have here, I am making one at a time a set of cables, power cables with different connector pins, male and female, to accommodate all possible diameters. It is pins I did salvage from old connectors, military connectors. I did already check the polarity here, and I will power it with 12 volts. But not much will happen, as you can see. We'll see. So it is off position. This is a test, and exactly like the other meter, the RS70 here, the test will blink, either blink the light here with also moving the needle indicator, obviously. And if you do not like the light, you can have very nice sound. It is quite loud and disturbing. So here you have 3 I do not know if it is to select, no, this one is to select the probe, obviously. Zondi it is written in Russian. 1 and 2. maybe it is one range, and the main range selector is here. Fuse here, zero adjustment here for the indicator, and it is all. For the features, so I will disconnect all this, and now we will have a look inside. So it is mounted on this vehicular wall adapter, apparently, to use in a tank or a truck or something like this, and with this rubber shock absorbers. They work quite nicely, it seems. We have here one grounding cable, and just two screws to undo at this side to be able to remove from the frame I'll try to do it quickly and not lose them if possible. It will allow to separate here. Excuse me. Okay. Like so. So here we have quite rusty screws. I will consider replacing them maybe. I will see, because actually this is rusty also, so everything should need a little bit of cleaning and repeating maybe. I will see. I can do it later. It is not a big emergency. So here we are at the back. Nothing except 4 big screws, and 2 of them are still covered with the original factory seals that will break for you. You will notice these seals are made with wax, red wax, not the black tar from Russian equipment. So this, I believe I have some, and I might be able to replace it quite easily. And we have this piece still attached. I will remove it for convenience. Just 2 10mm bolts will be pretty easy. Here we are. It was fast. Okay, and these 2 pins here are bolted in the case, it seems. So now time to crack open the seals. I will try to do it with a little pick like this. Okay, it should be good enough to allow me undoing the screws. I will finish cleaning the holes with the screw removed. It will be easier. Quite a long one, it seems. So maybe it is not necessary to remove it completely, but this one I will do for all cleaning purpose. Okay. So we can expect a very old school electronics in this, probably nothing fancy. them, one on the ground. Before I forget, the manufacturing date on the serial number here. 1985, serial number 0149. So apparently there are two big batches of production of this thing. One in 1985 and one earlier in 1979. According to the serial numbers of the other ones I did see available on eBay. But they are exactly the same, except for the mounting frame. Some have some steel bars on the top to protect the device a little bit. Okay, excuse me, I get rid of what's parts. So this one did clean pretty well. This one I just need to finish like this. Okay, so 2 more screws to undo and we will see the contents. We might have a seal also all around. Okay, I did just notice these screws have a weird feature. You can see this black, different color at least, ring around the head. Below the head. I do not know what is going on here. Maybe it was dipped in a bath 2 times for coating the metal, and this part was not dipped. It is first time ever I see this. One more. I try to do it very quickly. So my RS70 meter has instructions on the back. Here obviously it is not necessary because you will not be able to access the back when it is mounted in the vehicle. So, okay. I will put it back in the correct orientation and try to pry it open. Maybe here. Okay, it is coming. A little bit glued by the seal, probably, as you can guess. Okay, here we are. So we have a cover exactly like the other device, with a reinforcement inside and the very nice pattern of this material. And we zoom in for you. Quite interesting. And we have a big, very old school circuit board with one O-ring here, so probably, yes, we should have 4 of them, yes. And they were retainers for the screws, so they are captive screws normally. I was not supposed to undo them completely. And this thing is making a terrible mess. Okay, so we have a big circuit board, big tracks, copper tracks. I see a plug here, so it means I need to undo the 4 little nuts here. They are 5.5 millimeters. I will use my metal wrench. So I guess we will mostly have polish parts, as I did not tell the dial has inside a Mera logo. It is big. It was one of the big main brands of Polish electronics, together with Semi and Tonsil. Semi was CEMI was mostly making the integrated circuits, and Tonsil was making things like speakers, buttons and things like this. So it should come off pretty easily. Okay, like this. Here we are. So one header connector here that allows to disconnect cleanly, and we have one extra circuit board here. But first we will have a look at this. So what do we have? Here probably the step-up transformer to power the Geiger tube. I was speaking about semi, and here we are. Semi transistor. The yes, also MiFlex capacitors. They are copies from Soviet ones, exactly the same color and everything, but made in Poland. And in Poland you will have, with Polish electronics, this particular logo. It is a kind of a quality logo with a one in an upside down triangle. You have it. Oh, I am lying. Here it is not a 1, seems to be a 0 in an upside down triangle. Model number of a board here. So more MiFlex capacitors. The probably electrolytics here have no brand, or maybe it is not possible to see it. The resistors seem really Russian. Yes, they are regular Russian brand resistors, OMLT with a K logo. Big old school ceramic trimmers, coils, and nothing else. In fact, it is a very straightforward board, mainly capacitors, as you can see, and transistors to drive the Geiger tube and amplify the output of it. Diodes seem pretty regular one. We have 1N4 something here, 4006 it seems. Okay, and not usual, on these transistors the letters are in red color. It is really not often you see this. Silk print on the circuit board to help with placing the parts. It is nice. And other side here, really crusty big old tracks. So in the other part, first I did just notice we have two unused and unconnected wires here. It is quite weird. The plug, it is really interesting. Ultra seems like a Polish brand, but licensed by ATT Canon, which is a Western company. Even Canon might be American, I believe. And here it is a Q letter in an upside down triangle. So Polish electronics were made sometimes under license of Western companies. We have the big meter here with one backlight bulb and some kind of a quality stamp. It is interesting because it is a Cyrillic letter here. A little board here with two power resistors. Your switches seem to be copies of Russian ones, because this is a really Russian design. This also, but it is not written in Cyrillic characters. And we have here one little black relay with, I can see a date code of 1984 on it. Okay, I will undo this board to see what we have. I believe it is, it has, yes, something to do with the, yes, where is it connected? It is probably a power supply regulator to get rid of 12 excess volts if you are connected in 24 volts, I guess, or stabilize the power. 1 over semi power transistor, more Russian resistors, but this is not something I did already see. I believe it is a new flavor of component I did never see before. Capacitors obviously, but in a weird longitudinal shape on the green coating. It is something new. One more of those ceramic potentiometers. And we have here a made in Poland speaker. I believe it is exactly the same one in my other meter. With, yes, the two standoff here, of course, for the circuit board I did just remove. And more unconnected wires. So maybe you had several options available, even if all the devices I did see on eBay are the same model. Quite weird. What do we have else? I guess it is almost everything. Some power diode here. Nice, interesting way to connect this connector. Here it seems it is, yes, this connector is made for mounting onto a circuit board, but they needed to connect wires to it. So there is just a little bit of a circuit board to, with little bit of tracks to solder the pins or the wires together. And here, so I am not sure what is going on here with these connectors, because there is this plastic spacer which does not seem terribly useful, except maybe for the screws to secure the connectors. Some insulating tubing here in a kind of fiberglass material. And so here is the connectors you have. Bakelite insulating piece, it seems. And this ring here that could probably unscrew to remove this part. So I believe it is an adapter for water tightness. Probably you have a seal in the other part of the connector, or you have a cap, a rubber cap that will come over everything here and make good water protection. Okay, so I will put this back together. Quite a nice device, nice condition, good for my collection, even if it is not terribly interesting, but it was in at a very correct price, so I try to get stuff when it is not expensive, because actually there is some very expensive stuff I would like to get, but it needs a lot of funding. Okay, so thanks for watching, bye bye.